Hello everybody, I'm Krasi Attasio. I'm sidereal astrologer, and today I will talk about the astronomical new year and how we can benefit from this astronomical event and how different it is from the New Year's December festivals, which are man-made and which we are mainly aware of. With this, I'm absolutely not denying the Christmas festivals and celebrations, but the importance of the New Year time and festivals, which are astronomically based, is very high, and it is something that we can really benefit from. And this was part of my awakening process, so I feel like sharing this with you in a very simple way with the needed illustrations. So what is actually happening is that in ancient Babylon, people would have the New Year festivals on very particular astronomical time that I will mention in a second, in order to establish harmony between Earth and nature, Earth and the sky, and to benefit the most from the blessing of the gods. We are not made to live apart from heaven. So that is why this knowledge is so important. Doesn't matter whether you're an astrologer or not. So I will share in a second my screen with you and will explain you what I mean. So I am sharing with you just a very simple illustration of the Earth, which is rotating around its own, wobbling, so to say, around own axis. And one complete rotation, and you see that the angle of the Earth is approximately, of the rotation is approximately 23.50 degrees, so it's not absolutely straight. So one complete rotation is taking around 26,000 years, which is called the Great Year. So this particular rotation has an impact on the events that I want to explain about. So, as a result, here is another illustration. As a result of this movement, of this precession, so-called, the celestial equator, so this is the celestial equator, which is the projection of the Earth equator. So this is the Earth equator, and the projection of the equator on the sky is called celestial equator. So as a result of this precession, the celestial equator moves on the celestial sphere and intersects the ecliptic. The ecliptic is the path of the sun. So this point of intersection here is the point which shows where the vernal equinox is taking place. And this can be visibly seen on the zodiac. So look what is happening. We have the celestial equator. We have the path of the sun, the ecliptic. Here is the Earth, and the point of intersection is the place of the vernal equinox. In opposition is the autumn equinox. Here is the summer solstice and the winter solstice, and they form a cross. This is the most important cross in the sky. So this particular intersection for our era is happening in Pisces, and for our timing of the year 2018 is happening approximately in the 5th degrees of Pisces. Why is this so important? Because this particular sign is given enormous importance for our era, and the point of the vernal equinox, especially the point where we see the first lunar crescent, is the beginning of the new year, is the birth of a new cycle. In ancient Babylon, in Sumer, before the Babylonians, so we're talking here about 5,000 years ago, they would calculate the beginning of the new year when you see the first lunar crescent before the point of the vernal equinox. And now I'll show you, I'll make it very easy when I illustrate it for you. I will show you how exactly this looks. So this is the point in the 5th degree, if you can see what I'm pointing, this is the 5th degree Pisces. This is the point where, due to the wobbling of the Earth around its own axis, the celestial equator and the path of the Sun are intersecting. So this intersection for our era is here in the 5th degrees of Pisces. The Pisces will be in this particular sign will be of great importance until the spring equinox is in Pisces, and this is a period of approximately 2,100 years, because when we divide the complete cycle of the precession of 26,000 years, we divide it by the zodiac, by the number of the zodiacal signs by 12, we know approximately that the vernal equinox will be happening in Pisces for the timing of approximately 2,000 years. And we also know that the precession is moving not in the direction of the zodiacal signs, but the opposite. So we count 30, 29 degree, 28 instead of 1, 2, 3, and so on. So I have another video about this, which is called Why Are We Living in Such Difficult Times? And that I also explained about the precession. So this is the point of the vernal equinox, 5th degree Pisces. We, the Sumerians, would look at this by counting the appearance of the first lunar crescent before the vernal equinox, before. Later on, when the Babylonians, the Akkadians, would live in the lands of Mesopotamia, Tigris and Euphrates rivers, this would be Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, part of Iran, part of Turkey, these great lands. So when later on these lands were inhabited by the Akkadians, they changed the calendar. And then they would calculate the beginning of the new year, when the first lunar crescent would appear after the Sun enters the place of the equinox. However, I stick to the most ancient roots, and my chart here is to show you the appearance of the first lunar crescent before the equinox, like the ancient Sumerians did. And this is the day called 1st of Nisan. This is the most important day when the ancients would celebrate the Akitu festivals. I will tell you also 2-3 words about these amazing holy festivals, but will tell you that on this particular day, in the evening, because the days in Mesopotamia would start in the evening with the appearance of the first lunar crescent. So they would look when the first lunar crescent will appear, and the ancient astrologers, priests would look at the sky and would make conclusions how the whole year will look like. Or until the next festival, which will take place when the first lunar crescent will appear, when the Sun is in the place of the autumn equinox. And this is when the day is equal to the night, and this is happening for our era in the 5th degree of Virgo. So what is happening? These are the most important places in the chart. These are the zodiacal constellations and signs which are of particular importance for our era. So for us, for the year of 2019, the new year will begin on the 8th of March. And this is a holy day. And this is a day when we look at the chart, we conclude how the whole year will look like. And it is amazing in terms of predictions. When I will be sharing with you very shortly my analysis of the complete year to come, I will certainly take also but mainly this calendar into consideration, because this is the most appropriate and the one that connects us with nature and the sky. Okay. So basically how they would look and how looks very natural to look at these celebrations was like it was a cycle of life. It was a cycle of birth. And they would do preparations and purifications, own purifications. And then you have the first 4 days when the moon appears until the 1st of Nisan, until the 4th of Nisan. And each morning before sunrise, the high priest would make, first would wash ritually, would make rituals and would address the main divinities who would, for example, be patrons of the city. Like, yes, for Babylon, this was Marduk, and for Uruk, this would be Inanna. For Inanna from Uruk, you would have for Akkad Inanna from Akkad, and this is about Venus. So they would address the main divinity 4 days. Then on the 5th lunar day, which was considered very important, the king would be crowned if applicable, but this was a day that would be given specific importance. And it is mainly because on that particular day, the moon is already having harmonious aspect with the sun. So in this way, they address and they respect the nature and the real picture on the sky, which is the harmonious relationship between the Shamash, the sun divinity, and the lunar god, Nanna. So this is the beginning of a new cycle. At that day, during this period, the priests would look whether there are rains, how far is the moon around, above the horizon. So the higher, if the moon is approximately 15 degrees higher the horizon, so this will be very positive for the year. And they would look at every single event happening on the sky approximately around this particular timing. Why am I sharing this information with you? Because apart from the man-made festivals and the good or bad understanding of mythology, that is the real astronomical, celestial relationship between sky and earth, nature and earth. And because when you look how the sky looks just with the naked eye on this particular day when the lunar crescent appears, you will know a lot, even if you're not an astrologer. Also, every single thing which happens around this day is important, whether there are planets in Heliacophas, whether there is a rain, whether there is a thunder, whether there are clouds around the moon. All this is of particular importance. And on this day, you can make special prayer, you can make your own ritual, you can address the creator, you can address the planetary spirits, you can make a wish, and this is the right timing for it. This is the timing of the 1st of Nisan, the appearance of the first lunar crescent before the sun enters the point of the vernal equinox. With this, I'm completing. Expect very soon, probably this week. It requires huge preparation, my complete analysis for the year 2000. And if you like, you may subscribe to my channel. Thank you.